What do you seek? Huh?
Hi.
You'll have to excuse me if I won't greet you with a merry smile and a hoping heart. I do not know who you are, where you're from, or why you're truly here even. I hope you will not betray the trust of Thorman and loyal buyer's sale. But that is the extent of my faith in you. Alas, if you have any questions for me, it is my duty to provide you with the information you seek. But I hope we can be brief. Conversations are not something I find comfort in.
Okay. Who are you?
I am called Durusk. I suppose you would have a name as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you were there when I introduced myself. It's George.
All right then. What else would you like to know?
What's your function here?
I fight. I also know how to mend broken weapons and armor, and train some of the other rangers. But I mostly just meet our foes on the battlefield. Isn't much more to say.
Why don't you trust me?
What reason do I have to trust you?
What reason do I have to trust you?
This is not a life of glory and triumph. It is one of hardship, where the smallest of errors will result in disaster. I am reluctant to put my life in the hands of a stranger who stumbled into our base just minutes ago.
I just want to explain to them that I'm the Dragonborn. I want to put all of them to shame, because they're like, oh, who do you think you are? Oh, you're not important. Oh, you don't know what you're doing. I'm the goddamn Dragonborn. I will explain what that means to all of you. I will shout and show off my power. Where do you hail from?
There is something I should have told you earlier. I will not have any talk of my past. Come to me if you need training or a new blade. But if you search for the secrets of my wrongdoings, you will not find them. Is that understood?
Wait.
For now, let me be Durusk, weapon master to you.
Wait. Did you just admit that you have a shady past? It's like, oh, I have a shady past. You're not gonna find out about it, but it's there. It can probably be found, you know, because we set this up. I think that's all the information I need for now. Thank you for your time.
Uh-huh.
Well, I like Thorman, and I like Byrosel. They're nice to me. I like you.
Hello.
I like you, Foradont. You're nice to me, too. So half of the group is okay. Those aren't great odds so far.
Outlander, after some consideration, we'd like to ask you to perform some minor tasks for us. Your efforts would truly help our cause, even though the jobs appear mundane. We do not have much gold to offer, but you will be compensated for your work.
I know our offer to perform trivial jobs doesn't seem like much, but you would truly help our effort should you accept. What say you? Will you help me once more?
How can I resist your plea for help? This had better be worth my effort. Prepare to dig deep in your pockets. My help doesn't come cheap. Certainly I will help you for now. You seem like a jolly bunch anyway. I can't tell if that's supposed to be sarcasm or not. Here's the thing. Just from what I've seen on the mod page, I'm pretty sure there is a romance with her. I just wonder how easy it is to do, because it seems the thing of you could very clearly make it that you're already interested in her. I'm hoping there can be a more gradual build-up to that, as opposed to like, oh yes, I am already love-stricken by her emerald green eyes, and all of that, because stuff like that can just come on a little clumsily, I always felt. How can I resist your plea for help?
I am happy to hear it. Take some time to explore our base, or to speak to my fellow rangers to see what needs to be done.
I just talked to them.
I will see you again soon.
I just talked to them. It's really not great. I don't want to speak to most of them again.
Something on your mind?
Started Protectors of the Shire. Do you mind if we talk?
Not at all. What's on your mind?
I'd like to know about your past. How do you pronounce your name?
Yes, I can see how something like that could be mispronounced. It's buy or sell. Kind of like the options you have at a market, actually.
It is a pretty name. I can tell why you have claim to it, okay? Well, to be honest, I'm not sure if I can pronounce anything correctly. Wow. The mod author knows me very well. Black, surely your parents could have thought of something else. Wow, alright. Going for the evil approach there. It's a pretty name.
Thank you. Now, was there something else you needed?
I noticed you're acceptive of me, yet the others seem wary. Why is this? Aside from, you saw me fight, and you know that I can handle myself?
Well, I personally believe you have a purpose here. I do not know what path led you down to the Skyrim gate, what quest sent you that way, or why I found you of all people, but I believe it was for a reason. Some might find my trust absurd, but I think you are tied to the Shire in a way some would think impossible. That the fate of the Shire is in your hands and yours alone. Courage is found in the most unlikely of places, after all.
Whoa, I don't want that kind of responsibility. That's just a theory. Why would you think that?
Why? Perhaps it is because I am afraid. And you give me courage.
Oh. Wait. Oh! That's... okay. That's a quote from The Hobbit. I was like, wait, I've heard that before. That's Gandalf about Bilbo. Still, that's really nice, and it fits in pretty well there. I'd like to know more about your past.
Sure. It began as you might expect. My father took up the life of a watcher, as did my mother. Because of this, I was raised on the road. Wandering from village to camp just seemed natural to me. I was too young to fully understand where we were all going, or why, but back then it was the only life I knew. I remember one time, my parents were travelling in the woods near Tildo's Trolls, when they noticed a pack of wolves had surrounded some of the local farmers. It was the first time I'd seen my parents in action. They were magnificent. From that point, I wanted nothing more than to become a ranger in my later years. But I could go on and bore you quite easily with tales of my childhood. Shall we continue with current matters?
Would you mind giving me a tour of your hideout here?
A tour? Sure. There's not much, but if you follow me, I'll show you around.
Alright. I like her so far. She's good. She's not mean to me or anything. She's very accepting. The Gandalf quote that sealed the deal for me. I'm happy.
Here's the main chamber. It's where we typically hang around in between missions, or when there's nothing else to do. But don't worry, nowadays we're a lot less likely to run into that problem. Foradent mainly sticks around here throughout most of the day.
Oh, wait, where'd he go? I looked over to where he normally is and then he's gone. Foradent, come back.
In here is our kitchen. We keep the majority of our food and drink supply in these shelves, or on the counter. Feel free to help yourself to anything you find. Behind there is my potion and medicine lab.
Okay.
You'll find me in there most of the time, if I'm not in the field or resting.
I did take some ginger beer. Let me take a look at that real quick. Ginger beer, restore 10 points of health. Oh wait, I want to look at the texture on this. Well, that says Mineral Water Company Brewed Ginger Beer, and I can't see... Oh, does the bottle say the Gerald Mountains? Okay, so maybe the texture's from another mod then, perhaps. Man, those nuts give you a lot of health. 20 points of health? That's some good nuts.
In this cavern extension of our hideout, there is a small archery training ground, as well as a forge, and all the necessary components that go along with it. If you're ever looking for Durusk, this would be a good place to check. Now, if you'll follow me back this way. Down here is our sleeping quarters. The bed on the southwest corner will be yours from now on. Also, if you can't find Tinruth, try going up the stairs on the east side. She's up there, keeping a watchful eye on the happenings outside our base. most of the day.
Yeah, not her biggest fan. And she's not the biggest fan of me, so the less interaction I have with her, the better.
Down there is where we keep our library. Most of the content down there is based upon Shire folk tales or history. A good bit of reading, if you have the time for it. And this is Thormin's office.
She's like, what? What are you doing in here?
To the surprise of only fools, this is where you'll typically find Thormin.
Why are you looking at me like that?
He plans out missions and compares notes here.
What about the room behind it?
Let's just say that should the day come when you find out, you will have accomplished much more than Thormin or any of the others think possible.
And what about you?
I think you have great potential. And no small amount of luck. But whether or not you see what is beyond this door is not for me to decide. Nevertheless, I think it possible, maybe even probable, for someone like you.
Alright. Let me just check the other...
Not at all. What's on your mind?
Other dialogues. I already know about her past, so...
Yep.
So that's that. Can I open this door? Requires key. Yeah, makes sense.
Speak your piece. Be brief.
Mind if we talk?
What are the specifics?
I'd like to know more about your past. Why did you release me when I was captured?
I'm not going to lie, Outlander. The goblin raids of old, they were nothing compared to what's coming. A darkness overshadows the Shire, one that cannot be repelled by rangers alone. We need all the help we can get, and if buy or sell trusts you, then I'm willing to give you a shot.
Why are the halflings in the Shire rude to outside folk?
You must forgive them. Outlanders like you or I have not given them any reason to respect us. Unfortunately, most big folk who enter the Shire come here only to take, and leave nothing in return. They are peaceful folk, and they do mean well, despite what foul words might escape their lips.
Well, next time I hear them mouth off to me, I will give them a face full of steel. Good point. I suppose I would act the same way if I were in their shoes.
I'm glad to see you're capable of empathy. That is a fine trait for someone devoted to protecting others, even if only doing it for the coin.
Who said I'm only doing this for the coin? Although his opinion of me increased, so that's good. Who are the sheriffs?
Sheriffs are halfling volunteers. They aren't so much here to enforce the law as they are to help their neighbors and keep the Shire safe from the agendas of outside folk. In a way, their work is similar to our own. Except, they are civilians for the most part, and cannot hope to defend this land from the darkness that overshadows it.
Alright. Okay, unless I just ask him... Okay, yeah. Just had to back out of the dialogue in order to get back to the main menu. You mentioned more work?
Good. You're still here. Like I said before, I wish to discuss some tasks with you that need doing. Nothing too difficult, but you might greatly aid our efforts. I have 5 different tasks you can choose from.
Oh.
I noticed our food stores are running low, and the base is in dire need of materials for maintenance. I also received word of a wolf pack about to cross the Shire borders, and that goblins have set up camp in our territory. Finally, I understand that strange folk have been sighted in some of the villages in these areas. What matter would you like to attend to?
Do I eventually do all of them, or is it just one at a time? You spoke of strange folk in the towns. Perhaps I could help you investigate.
We are currently attentive of 3 halfling settlements where suspicious big folk have been sighted. Furtherhill, McHale Dolving, and Haffington. Go to each of these locations and discover what you can about the strangers there. Then, report back. If you have trouble locating them, try the innkeeper in each town. It's likely to be all they talk about anyway. We'll discuss your payment in larger detail when you return.
I get there, and it's just Nazim hanging around. And I'm like, oh no, Nazim, what are you doing here? It's like, do you get to Hobbiton very often? I didn't think so. He would get along with the hobbits. Or, sorry, the halflings.
Did you talk to Thorman?
Yep, I did.
Yes, I did.
Oh, they're not talking to me.
Still not convinced.
Oh, what will it take?
He's a stubborn one, more so than Doris in some ways. If I were you, I wouldn't wait for his blessing before heading out. He'll realize he was wrong when you slay a goblin king to save your first town.
Good day.
Hi, I'd like to know more about your past. Maybe you won't be as rude to me if I do.
My past? Wow, no one's ever asked me that before.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, of course. Typical newcomers are quite unlikely to find even the dullest days of a ranger interesting in comparison to their own lives.
Lady, who do you think you're trying to fool?
That.
Who do you think you're trying to fool? You literally just exclaimed, oh my god, no one's asked me before. I mean, of course I get asked that all the time. Do you think I'm just deaf? Do you think my attention span is that low that I would forget immediately? Because most days the answer is yes. For the record, my life is way more interesting than yours. Perhaps we can continue without all of this self-praise.
Perhaps, but I must be ever careful to give proper credit where credit is due. My accomplishments are far too significant to ignore, after all.
You're the housekeeper.
Now anyway, you asked about my past. I was raised alongside Adonin, my older brother, by my aunt and uncle. My uncle took it upon himself to teach Adonin the tricks and values of a ranger when his work permitted. I guess he must have felt bad about excluding me from their exercises, because it was not long before I was involved in the training. Adonin wasn't the slightest bit fond of this, however. I guess being beaten in the spar by his younger sister was too much to handle. He'd probably still complain about it today if you were here.
The problem is I don't know if I believe a word she says anymore. And just how many spars did you defeat him in? She's gonna be like, all of them.
One.
Yep.
But it was an intense one. If you talked to him, he'd probably say I rigged it. But how was I supposed to know where the end of the cliff was?
Wait. Did you kill your brother?
Well, we used to battle everywhere we could. The higher up, the better. And I may have tripped him.
What?
But I certainly didn't know he'd fall 10 yards in the air. I just assessed the situation and worked quickly to take full use of my advantage.
Also, yeah, you spoke about it as if something happened to your brother.
Something did. Or rather, he brought something upon himself.
Oh, his fault. He fell off the cliff.
I don't really want to talk about it right now, okay? In fact, there's some other tasks the others wanted me to carry out. I should probably get those done.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. I don't trust you. I think I might trust you even less now. Brother killer. Queer folk in the town. I've been asked by Thorman to investigate these different areas where suspicious big folk have been spotted. I should speak with these big folk and get a feel for why they're in the Shire. Then I can return to Thorman for my reward. If I cannot find the suspicious folk of my own, I might want to speak to the local innkeeper of each town. Further Hill, Havington, and Micaldolving. So let's see where we're headed. We have one up here at Further Hill. We have another down here by Micaldolving. And the third one is... okay, right there, Halvington. Let's go to Halvington. Be sure to ask the Rangers Past after each main quest. They will open up their loyalty quests. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. I like the idea of that. The Ivory Shrub Inn discovered. Well, I'm just looking to see if I can see any big folk on my own. Hey, you.
I'm afraid I'm not one for conversation. But come over to my shop if you need any wares.
But there are no wares. You have no wares, sir. Oh, whoa, the walls are very bright. Hello, Reuben Buffin. I almost called you a buffoon.
You look like an adventurous type. I've got lots of items you might find interesting.
Any, strange folk come around here?
If you're looking for those of a strange nature, I'm afraid you just missed them. 2 of them, from Bray by their looks. Up to no good, if you ask me. They just stepped outside before you came in. Doubt they've gotten far since.
Alright.
Oh, and remember, I'm not to be held responsible if anything breaks on you.
And I'm not going to be responsible if anything breaks on you. I was going to try and throw this platter over, but it's bolted down apparently, damn it. Just want to throw things. Here we go. Yeah, I'm not responsible for that either.
You don't seem to understand, Mr. Lonesmith. These tomatoes just aren't worth what you've listed. They're worth what my friend here says they are. And what is that anyway, Barry? Judging by the ripeness, I'd say they couldn't be worth more than 2 gold each.
2 of each? I couldn't.
Oh, but you will, Mr. Lonesmith. What'd you think you were selling? A batch of perfect tomatoes? These are far from it.
All right, it's a deal. Just take what you need and be gone.
Don't be in such a hurry to see us off. You should expect many similar transactions in the future. Do I know ya?
I saw that.
Why would I care if you did? It was just an honest business transaction. The little fella agreed to the terms, didn't he? It's not as if we forced anything out of him.
Intimidation isn't honest business.
What's it matter to you anyway? We didn't come after your stock, did we? You should stop sticking your nose where it doesn't belong. Someone might cut it off.
You're going to return that produce, or I'll kick your goddamn teeth in.
Are you threatening me? Wait, Will. Remember what the master said. There'll be another time. Yes, I'm well aware of what he said. Alright, outsider. Consider yourself lucky. We'll do what you say this time, but I'd be more careful about whose business you interfere with in the future. You may not be as fortunate.
What's this about?
Mr. Low himself. This fella here has a problem with our arrangement. Said we should give you the merchandise back.
No, I don't want them back. Just keep them. It was a fair trade. Now let that be the end of it.
Hear that? He doesn't even want him back. You'd appear all your vigilance was for nothing. We went after all, outsider.
Can I just kill them? What if I just kill them? I don't know if that would mess anything up.
Yeah?
You get the hell out of here. Shoo. Go.
Do I know you?
Keep going. Go follow your friend. Man, I hope that we have a little bit more luck in some of the other places. Broken floorings. Havington, and I can't even read that one. Something Bale Woods. It looks like the first letter might have been cut off, so I wasn't sure. The Golden Wood Inn. Discovered. Do I hear something? Oh, okay, that's the fireplace. I thought I heard like a bug or something.
Care to look at my wares? It will only take a moment of your time.
You don't mind if I stand back here with you, do you?
Oh, hello there.
Hi. Any, strange folk come around here lately?
There was an half-orc in town about a week ago.
Really?
He was looking to buy some arrows off a few of the merchants here. But he demanded an unreasonably low price for them. After being denied, word is he headed north into the Brinbale Wood. I guess he's moved on from there. But if you're looking for him, That might be a good place to start.
Okay. This
Thank
one seems
you for your
interesting.
patronage.
This one I'm interested in. Let me see how far away it is. Okay, we'll just walk there. Hello? You don't look like a half-orc. You just look like a man.
What's this about?
What are you doing out here just looking at this tree?
Keep your voice down. I'm hunting deer, and they're skittish enough without you yelling.
Oh, I'm sorry. How's this? Why are you hunting here in the Shire?
People need to be fed, and I need to be paid. Doesn't get much simpler than that.
I don't want to piss him off. Oh. The music cut out very suddenly. Get paid? You have a boss then.
My boss doesn't like to be known by outside folk, and he doesn't like we talk to outside folk about him. Trust me, stranger. This is one topic better left off alone.
I don't know about that. Come on, one name couldn't hurt anything.
You're meddling in affairs you don't understand, outsider. It'd be best if you just forget everything that was said here, if you know what's good for you.
Okay. Alright, well that's 2 out of 3. That just leaves Mikhail Dolving. Oh, okay, it's a minor thing, but I like it. The lampposts are lower because the halflings are shorter. I like it. That is a nice attention to detail. It's the kind of thing where I wonder if I would even think of stuff like that if I was designing a mod. Because seeing it, you're like, yeah, that makes sense, but, you know, sometimes minor stuff like that, you just don't think about it because you're like, yeah, alright, that's just something that kind of escapes your mind when you're making so many other things and you have to consider so many different aspects to designing the world and everything. The villages are all really nice so far. I'm liking them. It does feel very Tolkien-esque just from, you know, looking at the movies and different illustrations that we've seen from official sources. So I'm very happy with it so far. The Storks Company Tavern. Discovered. Hey, you see any big people around here? Yeah, that's right. Oh, I love it. I'm almost too tall. But just almost. So I'm not walking around banging my head on everything like Gandalf. Oh, I love these chairs. You got tablecloths. This is great. I love it. I'm in love. I still need to build my own house. Are we going to see dwarves? Probably not. But a man can hope.
And where are you off to?
To find some strange folk. You seen any?
You can bet by the hair on your toes I have. Right here in this inn of mine. Don't suppose you've overheard that big folk in the corner, have you?
Wait, what?
He's been in here all week, drinking the good stuff and not paying for it. Keeps yammering on about nonsense, too. Different times are coming, new leadership, fair distribution of goods. That typical doomsday stuff. I'd ask him to leave, but I dare not confront a fella like him.
I didn't notice you there. I apologize. So here's the thing. I'm willing to bet all of these big folks are just hired by the same guy. And the same guy hired those two to, you know, rough up or intimidate that shopkeep. Hired that guy to buy the arrows and hunt deer, as he so claims, and this guy to spread his nonsense.
What's this about?
Good day, sir.
Huh? No, you can't be one of them. Not here. Not now.
What? What are you talking about? One of who? I'm just an ordinary tavern goer.
Don't lie to me, son. Oh, yeah. You're not lying, are you?
No.
Of course you're not. Just a regular patron, right? Sorry about the misunderstanding there, just thought you were someone else.
Do you mind if I ask you a question?
What's it about?
I'm just here to find out a little about you. Would you believe that I've come here to help?
No. And it's getting awfully late for jokes. Besides, to help me you'd have to have about 200 gold tucked away in those pockets.
That's
And the wheel of
2,000.
pockets. Nobody would do that for a drunken coward like me.
It said 2,000 in the subtitles. That's a very big difference. I might, but first you need to tell me why you're in the Shire.
Well, if you gotta know, I work for a man. Okay, I worked for him. Dark and shrouded was he. I never quite saw his face or much anything else. He wanted me to deliver a shipment of supplies he'd brought from one of the locals. He said it was just some barley and wheat, but from the weight I would've guessed it was something like stone or lumber. Maybe weapons.
Go on.
Doesn't pay to be asking what you're transporting though. Not that I would've dared to anyway. Seemed like he'd rather keep his business to his own. That's not to say I wasn't half tempted to take a peek inside one of those crates. I didn't, of course, but I couldn't help feeling a mite bit curious. All the more so when my carriage was ransacked by thieves on the road to Tuckburg. Pitch black it was. Didn't see a thing besides the cloak of one of them heading off the road with swift feet. But when I stopped to check the load, I discovered I'd been robbed.
How did your boss handle that? He's gonna say, my boss doesn't know yet.
Can't say. When I finally built up the courage to inform him he was nowhere to be found. Instead, there was another man. An associate of his, as he explained. Anyway, this other man was very straight to the point. Said I needed to compensate their loss. Pay him back for everything that was stolen. I tried to explain that I didn't have that kind of coin, but then he threatened to kill me.
Oh.
From there, I didn't know what to do. So I made up a story about heading for Doland. But instead, I just came here to drink until I think of something. That's my story. Now, about that deal we had.
It wasn't a real deal. Also, yeah, this says 2,000 now. I don't want to see you around here anymore. Understand?
That's it. Yeah, of course it is. I'll leave tomorrow. Nah, wait, today. In an hour. Nay, right now. Goodbye, innkeeper. Goodbye, ale. Goodbye, cheap innkeeper's ale.
What about your tab? You still have to pay for those drinks.
Can't now. I'm in a hurry. Big hurry. Gotta go. Goodbye.
Well, you just got ripped off. Can I pay his tab off?
Big folk.
Can I pay it off?
I hope you haven't come here to start any trouble.
No? Okay. I figured I would at least try. Hey, whoa.
Do I know you?
You just left. What the fuck are you doing back here? Get the hell out if you're not gonna pay. God damn it, sir. Alright, well. Back to Thorman. We'll tell him that, we kinda dealt with it, I guess.